This is like garments. It shows you how you're supposed to live. Supposed to grab a border of blue. I'm wearing it's like my meat yet. And these right here are fringes, man. Which is good.
So why do Muslims pray on
these right
stuff
here?
like that?
This right here, the fringes. This represents the law, statutes, and commandments that the Lord gave.
So you know Muslim people wear people to wear that.
Yeah, 613 laws.
I'm about to put that on.
This is Isaiah chapter 34 and 4. It says,
Where you buy those from though?
Oh, you gotta make
this is what I'm for.
You can't buy it no.
The Lord, no, you gotta make it. I mean, it's easy to make it.
To my dad bakery?
But look, now you said this, you want to know how the world going to end, right?
Yeah.
This is Isaiah chapter 34 and 4. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as the leaf falleth from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. All right, so it's something right there. It says, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved. So everything that you see on is going to be dissolved. Now, how that's going to happen? Check this out. It says, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. So have y'all ever seen like pictures of like a nuclear missile, like when the missile hits and how it looks like a mushroom cloud? So back then when they was expanding it, they was talking about a scroll. So if you look up a whole like a scroll, they rolled together. So that's why they said it was rolled up as a scroll, right? Check this out.
Wait, why A or why A?
That's the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 30. It says, and I will shew wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and the terrible day of the Lord come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of Yahweh Bashim shall be delivered from the Mount Zion, in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall the deliverance as the Lord have said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call, man. So he only going to say like 2/3 of our people is going to die in America.
So like some people, so how the world going to end them?
The thermonuclear missile. The whole world ain't just going to end like, no, it's just going to be, you're going to kill everybody. No, it ain't going to happen
It's
like
going to be like a third. I mean, 1/3.
Like it's going, yeah, 1/3 of our people of Israel, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the 12 tribes of Israel. Only 1/3 of them are going to make it, and their families. So it talks about 144,000 children. It says in multitude, so their families are going to be delivered too. But
So
you're going to have, yeah, exactly. And all the Lord going to do, I'll read. You're going to get. It says heaven's going to be right here on earth. Because heaven, like, all right, when you go to church, you talk about hell, right? You know what that word means, man? In the Hebrew, it's sha'al. The Greek is Gehenna. Which hell is that, and it just means that the grave or the pit. So when you die and they put you in the grave, that's hell. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no place that you're going to go to and burn forever. That's not going to happen. It's not possible. You know what I'm saying? Now, let me see if I can find it.
So where do
when you die,
so what if you in a casket?
That's hell. Because your spirit, when you die, why they say ash to ash, dust to dust? Because we made from the ground.
So it's better to get cremated.
Right.
No, you're not supposed to get cremated. When you get buried, they put you in the ground. That's it. That's not.
So what do?
So don't get in the casket.
No, they're gonna put you in there. That's what they do, man.
So
They
what's
put the
gonna
Lord,
happen?
they put the Lord, Yahweh Shah.
What's the other way though? What's
So you're
another?
not supposed to be put in the casket.
Yeah, you are.
Oh,
Yeah, you
you're
are.
not supposed to?
Yeah, you're supposed to. When you die, you get put in the casket. That's what it means, the grave, the pit. That's what hell means. That don't mean don't put yourself in. When you die, your spirit goes back to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Because what makes you
When you go to hell though?
Huh?
When you go to hell?
Oh, you live in the hell right now.
This
You
is
know? You live in the hell right now.
So everybody go to
Because
heaven?
Nah, they don't all go to heaven. They go to the left hand side and the right hand side. But the Lord.
So two different things.
No, if you're an Israelite,
So everything people talk about is friction.
that church stuff, yeah.
So ain't no hell. The whole time I thought was so we can do bad stuff and still go to
No,
heaven.
I ain't gonna say all that, man. Yeah.
just sin.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
you're not supposed to sin, man.
No, I'm not talking about like shooting and stuff. I'm just talking about like.
No, like, it's wise to follow the words of the Lord, man. Either way, I mean, the Lord gonna save you regardless. You're
Why
an
do the shade
Israelite.
got a lot of names?
Huh?
Why do the shade got a lot of names?
Who?
The shade.
Sin got a lot of names. It's titles. It ain't even names. It's just different titles.
They call it
You know?
Judah, right?
What would they call him?
What's the name? The devil.
The devil is the so-called white man. The word devil just means deceiver. All right. And who's been deceiving us the whole time? Like you thought it was a hell and all that. Why you thought that? Because that was the doctrine that you were taught. And who taught? And as a matter of fact, what kind of church did you go to?
I live in Triumph.
It's a what denomination? Like it's a Baptist, Pentecostal, Baptist church. Baptist. Guess who started the Baptist church? A white man.
So I'm not supposed to go there.
No. Matter of fact, check this out. They
telling
say
my mom.
they tell you right. You
So which one should we go to then?
Right.
You in church right now? This is the church. Where you gather at. It says when 2 or 3 are gathered, that's where you're going. That's where you're going to be at. So watch this, bro.
I'm talking about like buildings though. I'm just saying like you know like
I ain't no school at the church. You can have church in your house. You can buy a couple of people, but it ain't church like how you think, man. You gotta learn. All right,
my
look
uncle
at
don't go
this.
to churches. He have churches like he say like you gather up and stuff.
Exactly. It says this is the book of Acts chapter 7 verse 8. I mean it's like at verse 48. It says, howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. It says, heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, saith the Lord, or what is the place of my rest? So how like that's letting you know right there you don't gotta go to no building that serve the Lord, man. You know? Come out here on the highways and byways when you see the men out here teaching. And that's church. But the way you was raised, I was raised the same way, man. But I just prayed for the Lord for understanding, because when you go to church, and the word religion comes from the word, the Greek word, or Greek or Latin, comes from the word religio, which means to hold back. So when you go to church, they're not teaching you the whole truth. They're just giving you bits and pieces, you know? They're not teaching you everything.
Where did like sports and stuff come from?
Sports, that comes from the Romans, man. Like football, that was back when you had the gladiator sport.
Yo.
Now, if you look at the way a football stadium is, it's the same way as a Roman Coliseum. And football is like the way they had the gladiator sports. They used to kill each other and all that. That's the same thing with football is about, you know. But the Lord ain't put us here to play sports. Fine.
So it was meant for males and females to be done.
Yeah, right.
So you be here all the time?
I'll be here Saturday. Matter of fact, I'll be there next Thursday at 5 o'clock. Come out. All right, brothers. I'm sitting, man.
Might come back.
Matter of fact, that's a good topic to get into. Just a young brother asking about, the day of the Lord, man. That's always a beautiful thing. When you see the youth come up, and want to learn, man. And they could have scoffed, man. You know what? maybe the Lord will have mercy on them, man. You know? No problem, brother. See that? They grateful, man. They grateful for learning, for wanting to learn, man. You know? First Thessalonians. This First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 2. Shalom, y'all about to shout about God. It says this first Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 2, man. It's talking about the day of the Lord, man. And since the younger brother right there, you know, just had a couple young Jakes walk up, you know, and they want to learn, man. You know? That's what this thing's about, edification. It says, this First Thessalonians, because they was asking how the world ended. They walked off a little bit too fast before I could really get into detail. But they had a lot of questions, man. And Lord willing, them brothers come back next week or whatever, you know, who knows. But this is First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 2. It says, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Yeah, so the day of the Lord is going to come as a thief in the night, man. It's going to come at a time when you're not thinking about it, man. It's going to come at a time when you ain't prepared for it. And guess what? Right now, the people ain't prepared for it, man. The people ain't prepared for the up-and-coming calamities that's coming, man. You know? It says, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, and travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And I bring that up a lot, man. You know, when they shall say peace and safety, all hell about to break loose, man. You know, all hell is going to break loose. Okay, you gonna have like these people ain't ready for this, man. You know. I could have told them little younger brothers a lot of things. Cause that's why it's good to talk to your youth, man. You know? And they could have acted like niggas, but they didn't act like niggas, man. They sat here and wanted to listen, man. You know? It's wrong, man. And then as soon as them brothers came up, man, that's when you had that demon come up too. And the nigga eyes was bloodshot red, man. Wearing a goddamn woman's jacket, man. You know? Trying to come up and then if I should have faced the camera towards him, but he was trying to, you know, basically block them from hearing with the words of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua has, man. You know. And that nigga, and it said that nigga, he gonna be caught as a thief in the night. You know? He came up here talking a whole bunch of nonsense. When those were young guys, man. They couldn't have been no older than 15, man. Like my sons is, but yeah, they couldn't have been no older than about 15, man. You know? Matter of fact, that's how I know the Lord, the whole age thing, that's not a factor, man. All right. No, those are babes, man. All right. This is Matthew chapter 11 and 25. This is the book of Matthew chapter 11 verse 25. It says, this is the book of Matthew chapter 11 verse 25, and it says, at that time Yahweh answered and said, I thank thee, O Father, Yahweh of heaven and earth, because thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes, man. So look, man, like them little dudes, man, and the one little dude, you know, he actually, when he got down there, he was like, yo, man, he turned around and was like, thanks. I don't know if the camera caught it, but he's like, yo, thank you, man. You know, them dudes are humble, they're trying to listen. All right, they're young fellas, man, so you got, you know, they distracted by the little girls and all that, man. But guess what? They're babes, man. And now I planted that seed in them and let them know who they are, man. You know, because right now them dudes go to church and all that, man. You know, being lied to the same way that I was brought up, man. But guess what? The Lord can give them the knowledge, man. Have them dudes go and want to teach, man. Or get up underneath a brother that has the wisdom, man. That has the knowledge, man. And a sincere brother. All right? And that, yo, you know what, man? That's actually shocking, man, to see them little brothers come up like that. Because usually when dudes come up that age, they scoff, man. And they talk about, can I be in your video? It says, yeah, they was babes, man. You get first Timothy 4 and 12. All right, this is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. It says, let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in the word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity. Till I come give attendance to reading, the exhortation, to doctrine, man. So yeah, man. It's Lord, it says you let no man despise his youth, man. So you're not supposed to hate your youth. And guess what? Those dudes right there, man, they're young, man. And I wish I had somebody to tell me when I was that age that I was an Israelite, man. You know? So I could be further advanced in this truth. But guess what? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua ain't want it done at that time, man. You know? Because he knows all our hearts, man, our minds, man. He knows our spirits, man. You know? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is a just God, man. Righteous God, man. And them dudes was, like I'm going to keep saying, because that's a good thing, man. To see little brothers want to hear the truth, man. And then they started coming at that other dude, you know, talking about, yo, go ahead, man. This, that, and third, go ahead. It's like they said, I want to listen to him, because he know what he's talking about. You know? That's how I know that nigga was a demon. And he was older, man. You know, here's a young man. But he's a goddamn devil, man. Soon as the young boys I'm talking to, he talking about he talking about racism. He started talking about racism and all that, man. You know? That's how I know. First of all, that nigga, he looked like he was high as hell off of something, man. That nigga was bugged out his goddamn mind, man. You know? And the young boys come out, he's like, yo, what's wrong with your eyes? What's wrong with your eyes? They bloodshot red. He talk about silver boulders, man. What the hell that got to do with your salvation, man? But at least them brothers were able to walk away with something, man. You know? It wasn't completely in vain. That's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 16, verse 7. Right? Come on. This is the book of Samuel, chapter 16, verse 7. It says, but Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua saith unto Samuel, look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For Yahweh seeth not as a man seeth, for man looketh for the outward appearance, but Yahweh looking for the heart. And that's right, man. Because them young boys came up here, man. I ain't had to sit there and tell them nothing, man. I could have been like, you know what, man? Go in the house to your mom and all that. Or go ask your father or whatever. You know? Because the Lord don't look at how small those dudes were, or how old those dudes were. He looks at their mind, their heart, man. And their heart is their mind. And them dudes sincerely seemed like they wanted to learn, man. Because they were full of questions. You know, I got to get quick on the draw with my scriptures, you know. But they was concerned about, they want to know how the world going to end. Because I'm pretty sure they think that the whole earth is going to explode, you know. When that's not going to happen. All right? And those dudes were small, man. Small. All right? I keep seeing these demons out here, man. There's demons out here, man. Heavy. You know? I'm out here in the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. You know? And furthermore, with like, this thing is not up to us anyway, man. Of who Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua gonna save. Alright? That's why daily I talk to different dudes, man. You know? Like I got a kufar, what they call them, kufis and all that, right? So the dude walked past me like, yo, salam alaikum. And I looked at him, I'm like, shalom, I'm like, I'm not Muslim, you know? So then we got into a conversation, and the dude was telling me, man, he was like, yo, I asked him, did he know where Islam came from and all that? He had no idea those things, man. He had no idea those things. So I started explaining it to him. He was like, yo, brother, can we exchange numbers? You know? I think out, man. He's like, can we exchange numbers? And I want to learn some more. You know? So the Lord is pouring his spirit out on the earth right now, man. He's been pouring it out on the earth. You know? But how they say, it's at an all-time high right now, man. Alright? It's at an all-time high right now, man. Where Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua ain't, you know, and he really wants his word to get out there. Cause them little young jakes, man, I'm pretty sure they don't go on YouTube looking for GMS videos or Israelite videos, man. They too busy chasing after girls, man. That's another reason why it's important to be out here on these highways and byways too, man. And do your studio shows and throughout the week. And your sit downs and your lessons. And also talking, because you're supposed to constantly be doing this work, man. You're supposed to constantly have your mind on your Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. Constantly, man. Like the scriptures say, whether they hear, whether they forbear, man. All right? And it ain't about coming out here cursing out the so-called white man. It's about edification. But of course, we love doing that. So he going to get cursed out. But don't base your whole doctrine on cursing out the so-called white man. All right? We know he's a devil, man. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 8, verse 2. It says, out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength because of thine enemies, that thou mightest still the enemy and the avenger. All right. So you see that right there, out of the mouth of babes, man. So you get them young dudes, man, them young jakes. They learned a little bit of truth, man. But they gotta keep coming and keep searching. But Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua has to put it on their mind, their spirit. All right, I did my part. The blood is off my hands now, man. Now they know that they're Israelites, whether they believe it or not, man. You know? And maybe the Lord will put it on them to dig deeper, come out more, listen, you know? And maybe start teaching the dudes in their school, man. Now you got a brother from Canada, and I didn't even know this dude was still in high school, man. This dude's still in high school, and he goes out on the highways and byways alone, man. You know? Let me read that again, man. This is Psalms chapter 8 and 2. It says, out of the mouth of babes and sucklings hast thou ordained strength because of thine enemies, that thou mightest still the enemy and the avenger, man. Alright? Out of the mouth of babes, man. This is Luke 10 and 21. But I'm still bugging out about that, man. Them young dudes stop like that and actually listen. They actually listen. And you see that, man? Because that other nigga that was up here, man, and he was a straight nigga, man. He was a damn devil, man. And that's what Satan does, man. He uses because you got black demons too. And that nigga was a black ass demon, man. Trying to block the babes from hearing the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Excuse me. Got Esau over here in the corner on the pole. I'm glad the camera got his ass. This Luke chapter 10, verse 21. It says, in that hour Yahweh shall rejoice. This is Luke chapter 10, verse 21. It says, in that hour Yahweh shall rejoice in spirit and said, I thank thee, O Father, Yahweh of heaven and earth, that thou hast hid these things from the wise and prudent, and hast revealed them unto babes. Even so, Father, for so it seemed good in thy sight, man. So yeah, man, the Lord, he hid these things for you. Like you got a lot of old fools, man. All right, those dudes are young and prudent. That's why I was like, yo, he's like, so we all gonna go to heaven? But you know, like, you can't tell little young Jakes like, yeah, all Israel gonna be saved, but we are gonna be saved because they're thinking, well, I'm gonna just continue to go do wickedness, man. Because I'm already gonna be saved. I'm already gonna be put to death. You know? Because that's he was like, yo, so can I just keep going out there doing bad things? He's like, not like shoot nobody or nothing. He said, oh, boy and the girl's supposed to be together and all that. You know, so they got a lot of questions, man, I could have answered. You know? But those dudes, you know, right now they're young men, man. So they going out and trying to enjoy themselves, man. But honestly, they supposed to be right here listening to the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. All right? It's the book of Job, chapter 32 and 9. It's the book of Job, chapter 32 and 9. It says, great men are not always wise, neither do the aged understand judgment. Damn. It says great men are not always wise, man.